if the results that were duplicated or were to be discounted, I won by 1.5 million votes. And I was told much later in London by late Ambassador Dende Fernandez that he had seen the results of the election with the Americans. That's the way he put it to me. And that I won a landslide victory. I have no doubt in my mind, and most Nigerians have no doubt whatsoever, that it was I that they voted for. Clearly, the military were jittery about a thoroughbred civilian taking over from them. They would rather go for a hybrid civilian, quote-unquote, politician in the person of my former boss, General Obasanjo.
So now we say we start this at present democracy in a very wrong footing, right? Because if you go by waiting Falae talk like this, it means say rigging of elections starts since 1999 for this new democracy. I know they talk about the old democracy and the one where they don't do for their own side though. I mean, this present democracy what we did, we even start them by rigging election. Because see what's in talk clearly, say in win the election. In fact, another headline of that story, when you don't get for interview before, I think 2 years ago for 2022, carry am say, or 3 years ago for 2022, carry am say, in win the election, say then change the result when in been the sleep. If that not true, what we go fit do to make sure say we get our democracy right? That's now what we want to talk about today. We be say we celebrate Democracy Day. As we celebrate Democracy Day, what we go fit do to make sure say we get our democracy right? Welcome to Update with Precious. Now here they give on an update of things and what they happen for inside Nigeria. So I say make we even look at our democracy, chronicle our democracy. You know, anytime I think about our democracy, I go remember that thing where be say MK or Abiola talk after the election for inside June 12. We'll go watch that video and waiting in talk.
He stands firmly by what he's done. Perhaps has a wind of what the SDP's position is.
Well, I'm not asking him to apologize. I just ask him that in the light of the popular mandate of the Nigerian people, as a Nigerian too, and as a leader of Nigeria, he should think again. That's all. I'm not asking for apology. In fact, that is not required.
Are there any other views we want to put across?
Well, you know, this is a very, it is not always every time that the changeover of government from military to civilian goes as clockwork, as that of Obasanjo to Elijah Shagari. It could be difficult in some instances, but maturity is required to deal with it, experience is required, and patriotism is required on both sides. Yes. That will not be lacking by the grace of God on this occasion too. Certainly not on this side.
Thank you very much, indeed.
Thank you.
So you hear the things and we be saying in talk during the the wahala we get to do with that June 12 election. Right now, waiting be the thing we be say we suppose learn from that June 12. We suppose help us for inside the 1999 election we will come do eventually when military Congress say okay, we'll surrender, we'll go give up power, especially after Abacha died. Because Falae, the person will be say contest election together with Obasanjo for inside 1999. Right now, be His Royal Highness. He don't come and come talk with Arise Television. And the kind interview when he gets to Arise Television, he talk a lot of things. He say after the election, saying go to court and say in lawyer late GOK Ajayi successfully established that he win the election because that if the duplicated results were discounted, say he win by 1.5 million votes. Now, late Ambassador Dende Fernandez also inform and talk. Say, according to Ramo, say late Ambassador Fernandez also informed me. Say in see the election result from the Americans and say in win by landslide. Then how it be say we can't change the result? Now, what's making talk say the results then change them when it be say in the sleep. In fact, if you look at the way we be saying that election result used come out, remember say Olufalaye contest under the joint ticket of the AD and the APP at that time. That is the Action Alliance of Democracy, right? Now what they call them, and the All People's Party APP. Now you use contest under at that time, and Olusegun Obasanjo, of course, contest under PDP. Going by the election, the result of that election, Olusegun Obasanjo been score 18,738,154 votes, yes. And then him, Olufalaye, score, I think, 11,110,287 votes. So if you calculate the difference, now be say Obasanjo, by the result, where be say they release, Obasanjo win with about 7,627,867 votes. But Olufalaye, they talk, say, now duplicated results them. Now Obasanjo use win that election. And say if they commot that duplicated result, say Obasanjo for no win that election, if it be him when win that election. Go here and when he talk am.
Well, still no regret for the part I played in the Nadoko struggle. Even though I lost 2 years of my life in detention. Yes, we fought for democracy. Yes, in 1999 February, I contested the presidential election with my former boss and now friend, General Olusegun Obasanjo. It was clear to everybody that I won that election. As you remember, I went to court. I hired late G.O.K. Ajayi as my lawyer. And G.O.K. was able to establish that if the results that were duplicated were to be discounted, I won by 1.5 million votes. And I was told much later in London by late Ambassador Dende Fernandez that he had seen the results of the election with the Americans. That's the way he put it to me. And that I won a landslide victory. I have no doubt in my mind, and most Nigerians have no doubt whatsoever, that it was I that they voted for. Clearly, the military were jittery about a thoroughbred civilian taking over from them. They would rather go for a hybrid civilian, quote-unquote, politician in the person of my former boss, General Obasanjo. What I was told was that they were afraid that if I became president, I might decide to probe the military. Now, that's ridiculous because I spent 5 years in the Babangida government, first as secretary for 4 years, and then as minister for 1 year. How could I be so stupid as to probe a government of which I was a part? That as such beggars description. But clearly it was an excuse to do what they wanted to do. They believed that the military, they were safer in the hands of a former military person. That's okay by me. I had done my duty, I've paid my dues, and I'm happy that we are still practicing democracy, although it's not perfect. The results are questionable, but it is democracy. You can speak your mind, you can sue the government, you can form parties and do what you like. That is the essence of democracy. So that I was not allowed to enjoy my victory in the 1999 election was unfortunate because I believe, with all humility, that I was better prepared to govern Nigeria as president after 1999 because I had spent my entire life in the public service. As a civil servant, I was a federal permanent secretary, as managing director of Nigeria Merchant Bank for 5 years, as secretary to the federal government for 4 years, minister of finance for 1 year. I had combined experience in the public and private sectors. I want to say again, quite humbly, without any blemish, and without any crisis. And so I thought I was, and what is more, I spent almost 2 years organizing focus group discussions on various aspects of the Nigerian economy. And I was able to distill into my blueprint the outcome of those focus group discussions on agriculture, on education, on industry, on the military, foreign policy. I was ready to govern, to hit the ground running. I was prepared. I prepared little handbooks for every minister, containing the kernel and essence and outline of what I wanted to do in every sector. So that I will not go to Abuja and start thinking of what to do, setting up meaningless committees to think for me. At least I was clear in my mind where I wanted to take Nigeria. In fact, my blueprint was titled New Directions for the Third Republic. Despite all that, as I said, I have no regret at all that I participated in the radical struggle. Today we're enjoying democracy, and I hope we can improve on what is going on so that our democracy can become more and more credible. Thank you.
I don't hear waiting Oga Olufalaye talk for inside that interview with Arise Television. So it shows say rigging of election and obtaining result and changing result no start today. It starts since 1999 for this new democracy. I don't want to talk about the one the way they don't do those days. Oh. Now, as people will be say serious for democratic dispensation, we serious fight for democracy. Waiting Ibise will suppose learn for all the years of military reign. Waiting be the thing will suppose learn to make sure they will strengthen our democracy in terms of the election. Them people will be say, for instance, even conduct June 12 election, person will conduct them, Oga Humphrey Nwosu. They call now, make they immortalize them because of the way we be say, in you stand gidiba to make sure, say, in do free and fair election. But people, they look at another way. People, they look at like saying, because of saying a Igbo man, now he make it be say, they know immortalize them. So people, they talk, say him be not even get the Akpo to call the results that time. So waiting be the difference. But apart from all of that, waiting was supposed to do to make sure say we strengthen our democracy, especially to stop rigging. Because if rigging starts since that 1999 time, then make we leave the one that will happen for other dispensation and other democracy, and we'll leave that one. This one we talk say we don't serious because of say we don't suffer for military hand, fight for the democracy, so we can't get them. As we suffer for the democracy, can't get them. Waiting we learn from inside, what we suppose know how to do better now. How did we learn what we should have done better? This is a question where be say a lot of people did ask. Nigeria, you see Nigeria as people where be say don't serious to make sure say they get the right democracy and then practice the right democracy. Plenty of questions in the day we be say we go ask ourselves concerning the modern day democracy we be say with the practice and what we get. And as we celebrate June 12 today, as Oga former President Muhammadu Buhari declared today June 12 as official Democracy Day. And I think that declaration he make for 2018 to you celebrate June 12 as our official, adopt June 12 as our official Democracy Day. I go like make our leaders, especially our politicians, and ask themselves, they feel say that they give Nigerians the democracy we didn't deserve. This now the democracy wouldn't be the fight the military so hard to get. Now, what did they give Nigerians? And Nigerians, not gonna ask ourselves that questions. On our leaders, they give on the democracy we wanna deserve. This now the democracy we all of wanna fight and agitate for to take over from military from. Now, waiting on they get like this. If not be waiting on they get, how on go use hold on our leaders accountable to make sure so they give on the right democracy we on need. This now question we're supposed to ask ourselves as they celebrate June 12 will be Democracy Day today, and they immortalize MK Abiola will be the person we they see when win the new the June 12 election. And as they celebrate and today, make also remember the person will be say conduct the election will be Humphrey Nwosu. I like to say happy Democracy Day to all of us. Now, if this democracy will day, they enjoy us and they sweet us, we like and well. Happy Democracy Day to all of us. But we will continue to the fight for true democracy for inside our country. And one day we'll go reach there. My name is Precious Inu. Thank you so much as an joining us. Subscribe, like, and continue to follow us like a village report. I love you now. Thank you. Bye.